Hey, welcome back to the Scorpio channel. Happy Saturday. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid, roles can be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates. Now, also know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading, so I do look at everything, but the readings are longer because I take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play it as karmic themes. And the reason why is because a lot of times we're attracting people that we don't understand why they're acting the way that they are. We don't understand why we tend to always attract the same type of people and the same types of, karmic themes play out. And those karmic themes tend to keep us in a place of disempowerment. So these readings are made to help you heal so that you can either shape shift your situation or quantum jump into a reality that you want to experience. Now, if you don't understand, just follow along. I promise you will. Like I said, if you want to enter into any free reading with me, know that this is a shadow uh, healing type of channel, and that you'd have to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out. It's the underlining energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. Today I was actually called to pull two from two different decks, the card of the video. So it'll be the cards of the video. And that is because when we do readings every day or almost every day, the readings tend to be very similar because people, there's only so many behaviorisms, right? People have, there's only so many toxic behaviors a person has. And so we want to always go deep and we want to really focus more on why you're attracting this person into your life, what the healing is that you need to do. Because if you're attracting a karmic mate, once you change your energy, which just means deal with it differently, and that's through seeing the situation differently, then whatever that karmic cord is that you have, it all of a sudden it dissipates. You don't have that karmic cord anymore where you're like, oh, I really need to be with this person, or this person really gets underneath my skin. Again, when we have a karmic cord, that means that we have an energy connection, and that energy is that we're continually thinking about that person, and there's a lot of emotions that come up. And so again, what can keep a relationship like where it's not where two people are not together but they're energetically connected for years on end is like, again, when the person is still thinking and there's emotions but they just never get off the pot, right? They tend to just sit there on the toilet. It's the time. Like after now, we've come to a place within our evolution to realize that we don't really need to stay stuck. When we stay stuck to a person that's not giving us anything, we're choosing to stay in a place of limitation. We're choosing to stay bound to something that isn't feeding us, isn't growing us. So that's where the pain comes from. And that's when, again, you stay connected, that pain just grows. Because obviously, if you're staying connected to something that's not feeding you, you can't, it's not leaving room for something that can feed you to come in. And so the higher self, which is the God part of self of you, gives you free will. We have free will, but there's karmic consequences because we're going out of alignment with spiritual laws, with, again, the laws of the universe. When we stay in a lower vibration, we always have to come from the higher self, and the higher self is God part of self, which vibrates from unconditional love. And so again, that's what shadow healing is about. It's about integrating the spiritual lesson, which means learn the spiritual lesson. Why was your karma what it was? And what do you do with the negative energy? Because just because you learn from the experience doesn't mean that there's still not all this emotional pain. Emotional pain is considered the fire energy, because when you have so much pain, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of rage, there's a lot of fight, and that fire is actually the best energy to transmute And that means change, but you have to learn the spiritual lesson in order to actually be able to transmute that negative energy. Otherwise, we might learn the spiritual lesson, which is, I know what I've done. I know what blocked me. I know the trauma that it caused, but it's still the experience is still playing out. The karmic theme, I'm still living that particular karmic theme. So it really is like a three-part thing when you're healing the effects of trauma. It's the awareness, it's the integration process, and then there's the actual transmutation. And the transmutation is, again, actually seeing yourself differently, doing something with the negative energy. All right. It's kind of like the channel is very, that has a lot of like therapy, help you understand why, again, things are the way that they are. I believe that without the full understanding, then we can never really bypass a reptilian mind, which is a survival mind. We all form behaviorisms and habits built on the perception that we weren't safe, whether that was emotionally not safe, psychologically not safe, whatever it was. And so we're not just going to be able to change that habit if, again, we formed it in a place of our survival. The reptilian mind won't allow us to let it go. So integration of just learning, like I said, is not enough. There needs to be the transmutation process, which is actually where you're taking that experience that put you in a place of disempowerment, and now all of a sudden you're seeing yourself in a place of perseverance, in a place of strength, in a place of courage. Again, completely different energy. And that can be done by reframing. It can be done in a lot of different ways if we really get stuck in certain traumas. And sometimes a person just can't heal, and they can't heal because, again, they haven't done the work, they haven't looked. All right, so the underlining energy is blame. So again, I feel like you're connected to someone that hasn't looked, that hasn't looked at their part. Whenever we're sitting there pointing the finger at somebody, understand what do they say? They say one finger you point out, but guess what? The other fingers are all pointing back at you. So the four fingers are pointing back at you, which means that you haven't taken responsibility. I feel like, yes, this person hasn't taken responsibility for their part, but if you're stuck in a connection with a karmic that you feel like you can't energetically cut the cord from, well, the reason why is because you're looking for an explanation, you're looking for an apology, you're looking for something, and this person isn't giving you closure. And they're not giving you closure because they don't want it. They know if they come towards you that you're going to blame them for why, your relationship with them looks the way that it does. It's because they didn't put in any effort. It's because, again, they undermined it. They know all this. They don't want to approach you to be, again, told off. So they're not approaching you. And it's a way that they relinquish their power, to be honest with you, making you feel powerless because, again, it's making you angry. Where it's, again, this person says, I don't really care how I need to keep you connected to me. At this point, I already know that I didn't do right by you. I can't go back in time. I can't fix it. I know that you're going to blame me. I'm not in a place where I really want to hear it. And I feel like that's because of whatever else has gone on. And this person doesn't really want to relinquish control. So that's the underlying energy is blame. Like this person's not doing anything. But understand they're not doing anything because there's a perception that you're not really going to forgive them anyway. They don't really know how to fix what they did. However, their energy is still holding on to you. And it still is because, again, there's still regret and shame. And where this person's all out of balance because they are ruminating on the situation because they don't know what to do about it. And they know that time's a ticking, and they know that you're angry, and they know that as time goes by, you're getting more and more angry. and they're almost hoping that you break. So I feel like you shouldn't break for that particular reason, because this person is like is a master at avoiding. That's what it looks like. It's like they're willing to play chicken with the relationship. It's like it's making them really imbalanced, because there's a knowing, again, that there is a spiritual connection, but they didn't treat you well. It's again, I feel like when you were dealing with this person, they didn't really know what they wanted. I feel like they were in a connection with someone else, but not really a serious one. Someone that they were pretty much allowed to do whatever the hell that they wanted, whenever they wanted. And so you're somebody that's going to make this person think. Going to, again, you would have criticized the way that they were, again, thinking that they were negative. And that is because they are negative. This person's very selfish. And so what happened is, I feel like this person gave the impression like they wanted to be in a relationship with you, because there is a connection here. But because they wanted to still, be in this space of not to be accountable and still stay connected to certain people, they stayed away from you. I feel like they led you on, but then kind of left it. Like they never did anything with the energy. And I feel like this person, again, no, like again, they're taken with you. And they're taken with your type of energy because they really feel like you're unique. I feel like this person thought that they can just let go of this connection, and they can't, for two reasons: because you're different, you're like no one else that they've ever met, and the connection is exquisite. It's like, and it's exquisite because it's so deep. You're so different, you're so unique. Exquisiteness to me is perfection, but it's perfection on such a profound level because we've never experienced anything like it before. And I feel like that's really overstimulating for this person, because they tend to be very they have a lot of grounding energy. So if I was to say something positive, they have a lot of grounding energy, meaning they know how to go to work and they know how to make a living for themselves. They're the bones, they're the structure, but there's no real flavor to their life. And when I say flavor, I'm talking about one's identity, like who you perceive you are, where do you put your time, your energy, your focus, your money. I feel like for you, Scorpio, you like the arts, you like creative. Some of you guys are into theater, some of you guys are into singing, some of you guys are into, again, your life is colorful, where this person's life is not colorful, it's bland. It's every day is the same. Every day is Groundhog's Day. And so, like I said, it's almost like they didn't ever really knew how to approach you. They never really knew. It's almost like your energy is so big for this person, even though they want to give the perception that their energy is big, in the fact of, I can run a company. I can, run 500 people, but everything is very structured. Everything is very methodical. Everything's the same day. Everything's boring. Everything's monotonous. And I feel like this is why it was easier for this person to be in a connection with someone that lets them come and go and not really hold them accountable. Because then they could, go out and, flirt with other people and, and get energy that way. They can be indulgent, where they could eat at a different restaurant every night and drink and over drink and party and just live the lifestyle to compensate the mundane everyday Groundhog's Day life. And so again, and what they feel is like there's just this connection that you and this person have, that I don't think that they really would have known unless they took a lot of time in separation. So this person walked away It's not that they didn't walk away. I feel like they couldn't be in a connection with you. They couldn't be in a connection with you because they were still kind of in a connection with someone else, even though they weren't really taking that connection very seriously either. But there was at least a loyalty that they wouldn't go off with somebody else, but they would party and have sex with other people and, and live this life, which was very enjoyable to them because, again, they felt like they were getting the best of both worlds. I have someone that is taking care of me, someone that's always there, someone that loves me, someone that I may not be sexually attracted to, but it's, again, they let me do whatever I want, so that's fine. And I'm getting my needs met. Now they come across you, you're like nobody that they've ever even met. It's like you challenge the norm. There's this connection of like, I feel like you're familiar. I feel like, and it sounds so cheesy, and they know that it sounds cheesy. They're like, I know that this sounds like a line. And normally they might even give that line to somebody other than you, because there's a sense that they know that that you have a bullshit meter, and they know that. Again, the way this person is more analytical and logical, you're very intuitive, where they can know that they can't get anything by you. So it's not like that this person, like, even, I feel like, tried to. I just feel like they didn't really like know what they wanted. And so what happened is like, I feel like when you were hanging out with this person, or it was assumed that you guys were going to take it to the next level, or this person knew that that's what you assumed. And then I feel like they reacted, and they reacted negatively because they didn't really know what to do. And they didn't know what to do because they were in a whole other connection. I don't think that this person really ever thought that you would really have feelings for them. And it's because you're different, you're unique, you're exquisite. And even though this person may make a lot of money and may be able to like run a company and run 500 people, and people depend on this person, they're seen as someone very strong, their life is not fulfilling to them. And because it's not fulfilling to them, they don't have confidence. If we're not interactive in our life and loving our life, we're not really challenged in our life, because when we love our life, it means that we're interactive in our life, and there's actually a co-creation process. And that co-creation process is where the universe is continually bringing you people, situations, and experiences to help grow you, but to challenge you, to make you think differently, to sometimes make you think outside the box, to be creative. This is the difference between street smart and book smart. Your person's book smart, but they're not very street smart. You're street smart and may not be as book smart. So there is, again, this awe of just them thinking, well, I didn't think that you were ever going to really create much of your life. Like the first time that I met you, or I might have perceived that you weren't going to succeed in whatever that you were telling me that you were doing. And it's because, again, this person very logical and left brain, and it's fact, and never again had seen anyone like you, someone so creative. And so again, you challenge them, you challenge this person. But again, and when they got challenged with, okay, well, I really want to be in this relationship with you, well, they reacted and they didn't know what to do. And their reaction was to go and run and hide. And so, this person, like you said, it tends to obviously have a lot of wounds around relationships. And it's mainly because of they don't communicate. They have avoidant issues. They run away. They run away and they hide, and almost like in hopes that the situation's going to go away. It's like you said, like almost like this person would act as if that they're the victim, but really it's, again, I feel like they wanted you to be the victim. And you kind of felt like the victim, to be honest with you, because you were like, who am I who am I involved with? I thought you were this person. I thought you were a nice person. I thought, and this person isn't actually a nice person. It's just they've been living out of balance for a really long time. They're, and so they stay connected to they stayed connected to a karmic, and that karmic they didn't have feelings for. It's like, but to change the entire dynamic of that, it would be very disruptive. And they're like, well, why it works anyway. And it works because that person does a lot. And so I feel like they've always been really not open with you either. And that's being sharing about how they really feel about you. Again, there was a lot of insinuation. There was a lot of, and this person knew what you thought. However, I don't believe that they've ever sat down and really communicated to you what their plans were. Like, hey, like I want to move in with you. I want to take it to the next level. I want us to go, like, never clear cut. Like, there was a lot of hinting. There was a lot of hinting. There was a lot of times that this person would say things like, yeah, we should go away on vacation. We should do this. But it was almost like dangling the carrot, and then you would take it, and then it was like, okay, I know that you're gonna wait for me until I could figure it out. Where you'd ask them, and it's like they were defensive. And then after over time, you became defensive because you're like, I don't know what kind of type of relationship I'm in. It's like you're not being honest with me. You're pretending to be the victim, but really you're making me into the victim. Because at any time you could break that connection. You're choosing not to. And this is what the karmic knows too. So understand, it's not like that karmic doesn't hold anything. The karmic, like, there's an emotional connection there. There may not be a passionate connection, but there's an emotional connection because time, energy, when you again are connected to someone, you're giving to that person. So it's how much time and energy you're pouring into someone. That is what builds. So the karmic doesn't care if this person fucks the neighborhood, to be frank. It's like just as long, and your person again likes to play games, knowing damn well that they were never going to leave that person. And that's why they didn't know how to deal with you. They didn't know how to deal with you because they never expected to have feelings for you. They never had, like, never met anyone like you. They never had anyone to compare their life to, or even like to this karmic. So it's again, there's like, and I feel like the karmic like has never had this type of a challenge before. So there's a lot of like the karmic excessively like, again, overstating like a situation, a reality. And that reality is, if you're gonna leave me, your life is not gonna work out very well. Like there's a lot of that. And then we see this, like this person is like very dramatic. And I feel like whoever this person is, your person's attached to, is someone that's very like dramatic, and they're letting this person know. And that's why your person doesn't do anything, because they're like, well, I might run the company, but this person is right behind me and they are like holding me up. And so my loyalty is really with this person. I don't have feelings for this person because that person and we don't have that relationship. And that would happen obviously when you're in a codependent relationship, where one person, when you're together, not out of love. It's like love makes us deal with a lot of shit that we wouldn't want to deal with. Your person doesn't want to deal with this person, and vice versa. But it's held together through, through money, through like things. And so again, and I feel like this person tries to pretend that you're like excessive, like, because again, you're asking this person what was going on within their relationship, and they really couldn't tell you. Are they going to say, I'm together with this person and it's a sham? Because that's what they would have to do. They would have to tell you that. So I feel like, again, after a while, you just got tired of the, like, it limited, like this person, like, it just, like, not wanting to see anything from any other perception except for like what worked out for them. And it was very selfish because they weren't honest when they met you. They lied. And so knowing that you were going to form this connection to them, and then they would just, be able to do whatever they want because they're a victim. They felt like it would be okay for you to be the victim. But really, this is when Spirit says we have to all take responsibility for our own life. It's again, that really, it's like you knew the truth. And that's a thing. It's like you're someone that's very strong. You're someone that's very strong within yourself. This person feels that. They feel like almost you're you're a free spirit, you're street smart, you're a pillar of strength. And so it's again almost like they didn't take your feelings into consideration because they don't even look at you as if you're a real person. And that it's almost like they put you on a pedestal. But in putting you on a pedestal, they don't, they're not creating the emotional bond because they're obviously still connected to someone else, so they can't. But then also, they're not being transparent with you. And so again, they're getting you like through manipulation. So and that's really what Spirit was saying. It's like at this point, you have to use your strength to really like live in your faith. Don't let anyone undermine like what you know to be true and like your faith, because that's really what this person was trying to do. They're in some weird situation that they're comfortable in. They want you to be comfortable and settling for less is what I see here. And so it's like at this, it's like really Spirit says for you at this point, because I don't really see this person really doing much to change, that you had to like not think that things were going to get brighter. Okay. You have to envision a future filled with the potential opportunities and for you to actually see your own genius. And that's what you needed to do in order to like break away from this person, because they weren't going to do really anything. They would promise you like bright horizons, but what I see here is that they weren't really doing anything. They again came in, maybe in the beginning they were really going to leave this person, but I feel like they've tried to leave this person 1,000 times, and the person, they always return, they always come back, and there's a sense of that these two people they're not healthy. They're in a trauma bond. They hate each other, but they also need each other, and they don't want to really, your person doesn't want to change their life. So, and it's just easier for them to like to do what they do. When I look into your eyes, I see the universe and it activates me. So it's again, there is like this passion, there is this again connection. They feel alive. Understand, in order to stay connected to a karmic, you got to shut part of yourself off. No, there's no love here. That's not what binds these two together. There's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of codependency. There's a lot of just familiarity, but it's not love. It's again, so you're something different. But I feel like this person like just feels like your destiny is calling, and that it's like you're busy taking care of your own life, and that they kind of feel like that you're going to be moving in a different direction away from them. Though there are messages being exchanged through music and movies. So it's again like this person, I believe, like is um looking for answers on how to deal with the situation. And it's almost like I want to say praying, because it's like they see that you're moving on. They see again, your destiny is calling you, that there's they just feel like there's a shift. And that shift is the person hasn't given you anything. So you're letting go, which is a natural process, which would need to happen. But I also believe that this person expected you to get hooked. And because you didn't get hooked, now they're the ones that are is stuck. See, they would have been mighty fine staying connected to the karmic and still having you hooked to them while they were like in like having this astral connection with you, but never giving you anything. Because again, this person, in order to be with the karmic, has to be shut off, not present. They don't love that person. That person irritates them. It's like they irritate each other because, again, there's too much hurt. The relationship should have ended a long time ago, but it's held together through things. Thumbs up, again, confirmation. Um, our love needs to manifest through the union of the heart and mind. Expanding these areas allows our love to grow. You're right. Like this person knows that you're a twin flame, knows that you're like a soulmate. And I really feel like a twin flame because this person's been stuck to this karmic for a long time, that I think that the karmic has deluded this person into believing them that they're their soulmate, that they're their twin flame. And really, your person didn't know the difference. They didn't know the difference until they actually were presented with a different type of person. And you're so different from anything that they've ever experienced. There's a sense, again, that you could take care of yourself. This person doesn't like the fact that they have to take care of the karmic on some level. So it's again, they need to expand their heart and their mind. They had to close up their mind and their heart in order to stay connected to that karmic. So really, it's like this person needs to understand that whatever they thought that a relationship was a long time ago when they got together with that karmic is not. I feel like they married someone that was very codependent, or they got, maybe if they're not married, they've been in this serious committed relationship where your person checked out a long time ago because they don't, that they're not the type of person to emotionally pour into people. That's not who they are. This person runs a company. They're very they're very strong in their own right. They don't want to have to take care of someone like that. They feel like that person brings their energy down. It's like, but it's like they also feel responsible. And that because over time, so with you, you're so different. You're a mover, you're a shaker, you make things happen. You're exquisite in the way that you look, you're exquisite in the way that you live your life. Like I said, it's hard not for them to take their eyes off. I feel you pulling away. Again, this person knows already that your destiny is calling you. It's again, and that their fear is that you'll leave is going to leave them for good. So they're being forced at this time. They're being forced at this time to do something because it's almost like they're just sitting there. There's like again, shit or get off the pot. It's like this person is just wants to energetically hold on to you. And that's how this reading started. That's why Spirit said that, because that's the underlining energy. It's like, I don't want to come to you because I don't want you to criticize me. I don't want you to like blame me. You're the one that's going to blame me. It's my fault. And it's, of course, it is this person's fault. And it doesn't, the spiritual connection isn't enough. This person's like trying to keep you hooked by like not never saying anything, like leaving it open like that. I'm looking for a way out of this situation so I can be free. It's like they can get out. It's like that's the thing. It's like they are caring more about that karmic person than they are about their own life. They feel guilty. They're like, that's really the issue. And if they're looking for a way out and they're looking for that karmic to tell them, the karmic's not going to tell them a damn thing. Our love is eternal. It exists in every dimension and cannot be lost. Like that's what they feel like. They feel like that you're like a twin flame. That's what they feel like. Because like I said, twin flames come into people's life and they change their life. They change their life. It's like you're so different from this person. That's number one. Number two, it's like you're like everything that they've ever wanted, but they've never been able to put it in words before. They're connected to someone else. That person has been loyal. That person has done a lot. But because there has been no like real emotional connection, or there hasn't been in a long time, I believe that again, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of resentment, there's a lot of, where it becomes like Groundhog's Day. Like every day we're just going through the motions. Every day we're just doing the same thing. And it's like monotonous, where we're not supposed to live that way. That's always when the universe conspires to bring people into our lives. This person does have feelings for you, but as long as they stay connected to that karmic, they remain a karmic mate and not a twin flame. This person wants to leave. I'm afraid you're going to meet somebody else before I'm ready to be with you for good. So this is a lot of like this person knows. They're like they procrastinated, they waited too long. It's again, and they're like, and they're starting to get overstimulated. Again, this person's not emotionally intelligent. They may run a company. They may, like, again, seem very strong, but they are not strong when it comes to relationships, obviously. So there's a sense of that they know that you're over it. They know that you're like, you waited too long. You haven't been there for me. This person now is thinking about how they treated you. They didn't think about it the whole time. They were only worried about the karmic this whole time. It's like, oh, I can't leave this person. I feel bad. I feel guilty. But, as time goes by and you're cutting your energy off and this person feels it, that now they're like, wait a minute, you're like not, you're like moving on. You're like leaving me behind, which leaves me here connected to the karmic energetically, but as well as every other way. And this person gets energy from you. Like again, you activate them. I think that just makes like, when you have a crush on someone and you like someone, and when you see them, you get the butterfly in your stomach and you get excited and you feel like you have more air, there's more oxygen, like the sun is shining a little bit brighter. Well, it's like almost like you're going away and all of that is going to go away too, and then they're going to be stuck with just that karmic. And that karmic is like, a gray foggy day with like it's like the same old tuna sandwich. You know what I mean? It's like the same old, where it's okay, and when you're hungry. And sometimes when you don't have anything at all, you really appreciate the tuna fish sandwich. But this person feels like I'm stuck, like at this cafe. And this cafe, like, it's like sometimes I would like to eat at a French restaurant. Like I would like to, like, I've outgrown this. I wanna, I don't want to bring my lunchbox. I want to eat at a nice restaurant now. It's like I never knew that type of restaurant even existed. Like if I never met you, I wouldn't know the difference. But because I met you, I can't go back to the way that things were. And so, and now they're saying, well, now you're like cutting the energy off because you're like, well, fuck you. Like you've been there the whole time, sitting on the fence, not caring. Because again, I'm trying to understand how my thoughts create my reality. I know I need to stay positive. Are you? Like, and the thing is, it's like this person knows damn well that you are not positive about this connection at this point. You're like again, where this person is saying, I'm feeling controlled by people around me and I don't like it. It's pushing me to find my power again. And that's what he said. That was same old tuna sandwich is like that is why this person is not really happy because the intimacy has just gone out of that connection because again, that karmic doesn't get what they need on an emotional level. Yeah, it looks like you're in a relationship, but you're not in a relationship. This person had to detach from it. So again, this person can't go back to the way that it was. They wouldn't be fine with letting the people control them. They've controlled them this whole time. They were not aware that they were being controlled because they didn't have another choice or an option. And again, as long as it looked good and that they were, being seen as someone important, someone of authority, and getting their needs met by these like surface relationships and, you know, uh, excessive, party type behavior, like to feed them, whether that was a very indulgent behavior. Um, Again, this person doesn't want to live that way anymore. They've grown out of it. And now I feel like the people around them are like, no, you don't want to be in a connection. You don't want, because this person is like, I don't really want to do this. I don't want to stay with this person. I don't want to, like, again, they're flexing their opinion. So the karmic is getting real scared. And the people around them are like, oh God, now you're going to like create like issues. Not to mention, it's like, is it really going to be for good? Because it's like this has been a toxic connection for a long time, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. So it's again, it's pushing your person to grow, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you'd be with them. It's again, yeah, like there's a sense of like by the time this person actually gets to you, it's like you're done. You're done, and this person, because they were not in your life like the whole time, and they realize it. It's like, and I think also that that karmic is going to do everything that they can to like set them back to make sure that they're delayed, that they're delayed, because they know that they're running to somebody. They may not know who they're running to, but they know, well, if you want to get out of here so bad, you're running somewhere, because it's not like you weren't uncomfortable. You were comfortable. Now all of a sudden you're not comfortable. Why is that? And the reason why is because it's like this person is like, because you're controlling me, because you're like, again, trying to like suffocate me. You're limiting my freedom. It's again, and my freedom, like, I don't get passion from you. So now, because you know that I'm not happy, you're trying to control me. You're trying to like control my environment. And I don't like it, and controlling the people. So it might have, again, the karmic might have went to this person's family, mother, father, sister, brother, friends, relatives, jobs. Again, just to do whatever they can to make sure that your person doesn't leave, but your person's like, I don't really want to, I don't want to stay in this. I want that connection to be over. They want this relationship to again be death. But I think that by the time that they actually get to you, yeah, like this person is like it's again, it's all about this karmic keeping them apart from you. So there's a lot of delays. They want to keep you separated because they're hoping that there will be a death. Like that's the karmic's thing. But little does the karmic know that it's really putting their connection to death for good. So I feel as if your person has been back and forth with this person forever, but it's never gotten to the point where they've really like gonna like leave them forever. Like there was always like they left and they came back, they left, they came back. They were always able to be manipulated and persuaded. And that this time that karmic is just like is digging their own grave and they don't realize it. And it's because they're trying to control them. They're like, oh, you want to leave, but I know you're going to leave to run to somewhere. So I'm just going to keep putting obstacles in your way, which makes your person say, like, you are so like controlling me. It's like, I don't want to be with you to begin with, but now I really don't want to be with you because you, like, I see exactly how manipulative you are. Where now they're also looking at you, and that was more, again, is working at in your favor, where it's like, wow, you're exquisite because you would never do this. You would never do this. You, again, I didn't give you what you need. You walked away from me. It's like you disconnected from me. It's like, and we have this profound connection and you just let go. Like you're gonna find somebody else by the time I'm ready to come back. So here it is with your person, like they said, it's person because this person is like, you're emotionally connected to them. It's again, and that's why I'm saying there's a psychic connection, an empathic connection. So it's again, this person feels very deeply for you, and that's what the karmic doesn't realize. So, and I believe that that's always the catalyst that makes people do what they do, right? It's like this person is like wants to come back and is like fighting the karmic. So this is actually how they're realizing how much feelings that they have for you, because it would be obviously a lot easier to stay connected to the karmic, right? Um, it's like, but they're like I said, they're well prepared to do it. It's like they're stepping in to their masculine energy, whether they're masculine or not. So it's again, they have the resources and they have what it takes to again get it done, like come into your life and fix it. This is their thing. This they know what they want. So when they get done with this karmic, I feel like they already know what they want. Now, will you want to be in this connection? Will you want to be in this connection with this person? I mean, if it's a real soulmate twin flame connection, then the answer would be yes, even though this person, you met this person when they were connected to somebody else, because they are not normally someone that would leave and do everything that they would do. And I'm saying if it's a real soulmate twin flame connection, let's see. And will you? Um, you know what? There's a yeah, like I feel what yes, spark of curiosity. It's time. So it's almost like there's an inner knowing, again, that spiritual, dark to light. So you feel like this person's changed. Um, so yeah, I feel like you're like, I've been connected to this person for a long time, so I am curious. I do feel like this person has done the healing, dark to light, obviously, like if they're like leaving that karmic and they're doing what it takes. And this is in the story, okay? It's collected. But for the reading purpose, we always want to know what the person in the story would do, and they want romance. It's like it's again, there's affection here. It's highly emotional, and the reason why is because there's a spiritual connection that happens when again there's big life changes. A soulmate twin flame always comes into our life when there's change, big change. And when I say big change, it would be like leaving a karmic that you've been connected to for a long time, that's been manipulated, or again, like being with someone that God forbid died, or again, you moved from like a place after like a big transition. It's that's when your soulmate twin flame comes in, and if that's this person like has created the change. Now, We have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? What are you supposed to learn? Guidance, again, listening to your higher self, again, I feel like the higher self is that God part of self and being guided by it. So even though like this connection may not seem as if it's, all the time logical, because soulmate twin flame relationships are difficult, um, you're still being guided by it. And I feel like for purposes of the inner child of maybe not having guidance when you were younger. So soulmate twin flame represents what unconditional love is. It's like we can't control it. It's the person that is our soulmate twin flame. A lot of times, not our type at all. It's like doesn't mean that we don't find that person beautiful and gorgeous and the most delicious looking person that we've ever seen. It is. However, it's nobody that we even imagine that we would be with. It's like again, like, oh no, I always date preppy people, and now like this person isn't a preppy person. This person's like a biker, or I always like blondes, and this person is bald, or they have again black hair and they're Cuban, or whatever it is. It's like it's exquisite. It's exquisite because it's so different. It's so unique. And it's like, but there's again a excitement, a sexiness to that energy. And it would have to be if there's big change, right? Because of the trauma that you both grew up with in childhood. But I feel like in you being again needing to heal the trauma. If you didn't grow up with people that made you feel loved, right? And that's when we are brought up in an environment where our parents teach us that, unconditional love is that you are so self-sacrificing, where that's not what unconditional love is. Like we all kind of put our own spin on what we perceive unconditional love is and what we think it should look like, and what spirit says is none of that. You don't have any control over unconditional love. It just is. And so trauma grows you away from yourself. Trauma makes you a lot of times feel not lovable. Trauma, there's behaviorisms that block us off from having love. So we would need heal. That's what we see. Your person was connected to somebody that was a karmic, that had full control, that was very manipulative. So again, we don't wind up in such a codependent relationship unless there's huge trauma. So we see a lot of mirroring energy here. But I feel like for you, you didn't get the love, you didn't get the support. And because you didn't get the support, you saw that this person was doing like the same thing. Where every time you need to like deal with your situations and you have to go into isolation yourself, that's like a childhood way to deal with problems when there's no support. Children that have no support, they have to figure things out on their own, and they go into hiding. They to try and figure things out. And I feel like that's what this person was kind of doing to you. They weren't giving to you. They energetically was connected. So you didn't really have support. And so again, that triggered trauma with your own higher self. Your own guidance was like, knows that you didn't need to be in that, but you also could tell that this is a soul connection, spiritual connection. Passion, laughter. I feel like that laughter represents like a childhood. So if you grew up in trauma, it's not like you were able to really be like relaxed and happy and going out into the world and finding yourself and exploring and connecting so deeply. And trauma makes us live in survival mode. So what spirit's saying is, it's again, to obviously integrate these things, we can see it's friendship. So I feel like for a lot of you, you guys were relying on friends when you grew up because you didn't have the support from childhood. So you are someone that has like a good Like you are a good friend. I feel like you know how to do that. This person would actually need you to be a friend to them because I don't think that they've ever had that. Friendship heals intimacy issues. What I see is trauma would create intimacy issues for you. And this person has intimacy issues for them to stay connected to a karmic. And then, they were living compartmentalized for a long time. They were living with a karmic and then just running around with different people to get their needs met. So it's again where spirit's saying like the integration process for that would be friendship and obviously to create like fun times. Like when you create happy memories, your bond, that's how you grow your bond. You would need to do that. And that really like the guidance, you're okay with that because I feel like you're tapped into your higher self. That happens again when you don't have parents that are supportive. So it's again, you became very street smart as a child. It's again, you relied on friends, you became a good friend. That was your family because you had to figure things out on your own because of the trauma. So spirit's saying that's actually a gift. That's exactly what this person needs. Now, obviously, you might say that, well, I have to do that, but what are they bringing me? Well, if they're your twin flame, believe me, they're going to bring you things that are going to help you most likely in areas well in areas that you're not good in, which if they're very good with things, I feel like it's this person's going to spoil you first of all. It's again, and I feel like you're not some because this person has money. So and there's someone that they're gonna you know they're gonna create like to fix it like over the top energy. Okay, they're gonna like as friendship, if you offer this person, they're going to take you away on adventures. They're going to give you luxury. They're going to like they can do that. This is why the karmic doesn't want to let go of them. Understand? It's like they're not getting love. It's the life that they don't want to give. So this person is like wants to give that to you. And it's like they want to take you away. They want to fix what they did. So yeah, it's again that is because again the family, friends celebrate. It's again they want to have party. And for some, believe it or not, they feel like they want to marry you. So, or again, if your birthday is coming up, they want to be there for your birthday. They want to be there for you. They want to celebrate. They want to create the opposite energy of what they have created. And what they've created for you is a lot of indecision, sitting on the fence, acting like they don't care, putting a karmic first again, but you cutting your energy off is scaring the shit out of this person. It's like, and definitely scaring the shit out of the karmic because it's like they're losing. They might have thought that they won, but what they see is that they're not winning. They're actually dug themselves into the hole by all the manipulation. That was big, Scorpio. That was big. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.